Hi, I'm Dr. Craig Malkin. I'm a clinical psychologist and lecturer for Harvard Medical School. I'm also the author of Rethinking Narcissism and co-author of The Dangerous Case of Donald Trump. This is a follow-up to my last video where I explained the mechanisms for stress and stress response, in particular what drives trauma symptoms, and a simple understanding of what can reduce trauma symptoms. And as promised, this is the video where I want to show you a simple technique that you can use on a regular basis. One point, or maybe a couple of points I want to make. Some readers, viewers wrote in with comments concerned about the approach of reducing a sympathetic nervous system response by activating a parasympathetic response. In plainer language, if you haven't seen the previous video, reducing a fight or flight response by increasing the part of the nervous system responsible for a relaxation response. Some people wrote in and they had concerns that this might not help people who dissociate. A word about that: it's not simply a freeze response. It's correct that we now think of the reaction in the stress response as fight, flight, or freeze. Dissociation is a mix of different processes. It's very complicated. But in the technique that I'm going to show you, it really does help with dissociative response as well. One thing that we do know from the research is that dissociation, that is where you feel like you're leaving your body, you're checking out, you're not really fully present or embodied, as a way of coping with severe trauma in the present or a reminder of it from the past, that it's preceded by an intense sympathetic state or fight or flight state or response. That is, when people dissociate, they often have an internal experience, even though sort of not present, of fear or terror or intense discomfort of some kind. So these techniques also help with dissociation, particularly when you integrate them with some simple cues that I'm going to teach you. So just get settled in your chair, just like I'm getting settled in my chair. And in a previous attempt when I did this, I had my eyes open. I think I'm going to close my eyes. It's just, and I suggest that you do the same. I worry it's going to be sort of unnerving with me looking at you as I guide you through this. So I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to take you through these cues. And this is something you can listen along to, or use it in a guided way. And I'll probably do a follow-up to this too, because I can't cover everything in one video. So just settle in your chair and take a few deep breaths from your diaphragm or your belly. It's like a balloon going up and down. What we know from the research is that when we breathe from here, it triggers a fight or flight or sympathetic state response. When we breathe from down here, it's like a nervous system hack tapping straight into a relaxation response. So in through your nose, out through your mouth. Making sure your stomach moves up and down, not your chest. Just a few deep diaphragmatic breaths to start slowing down and focusing inward on your breath. Just noticing exactly what it feels like for the breath to move in through your nose and out through your mouth. And you might notice anxious thoughts, worried thoughts. Just notice them and come back to exactly what it feels like for the breath to move in through your nose and out through your mouth. If you have an itch, scratch it. If you need to move, go ahead and move. It's fine. Just come back to exactly what it's like in this moment to feel the breath move in through your nose and out through your mouth. This is activating a relaxation response. You may notice your breath start to slow. That's normal. That's a relaxation or parasympathetic response, which reduces the fight or flight state. Just notice it, and come back to the breath. You might notice feelings of lightness or warmth or tingling. For people who haven't experienced that often, that can be disconcerting. That is also part of a relaxation or parasympathetic response that reduces fight or flight state. Just notice those feelings and come back to the breath. They're normal. This will help with any potential dissociation, or sometimes people think of it as spacing out or checking out. Feel your feet on the ground as you breathe. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Always coming back to the breath. Just noticing what it feels like to be sitting here right now in the chair or on the couch or wherever you're sitting. Your feet on the ground and your back against the chair. Really feel yourself where you are. Feel your body where you are and breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just slowing way down and noticing what it feels like for the breath to move in through your nose, out through your mouth, with your feet on the floor, firmly on the floor, feeling yourself, exactly what it feels like where you sit and breathe. Again, if you have a thought, just notice it and come back to the breath. If you have to move, notice it, come back to the breath. Always feeling yourself sitting, feeling your body where you are right now. The seat or the couch underneath you, your back against it, and breathe. Just continue to breathe now for a few moments in silence. I want you to have that. You can keep my voice and the cues that I've given you in mind, and just breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. I'm going to count backwards from 3. You don't have to do this for yourself if you're practicing this alone, but just to gently come back to a regular conversational awareness on a count of 3, with 3 beginning to open your eyes and move, and 2 letting yourself become aware of what's around you, 1 opening your eyes. 3, 2, 1. Oh, my eyes teared up a little bit during that. So, that is a very simple technique to help you activate a parasympathetic response. I recommend trying it at least 10 minutes if you can do it once a day. And really, if you have any concerns about dissociation, definitely incorporate that cue that I gave you where you're feeling yourself really embodied. You're feeling yourself in the moment where you are, feet on the ground, the chair underneath you, your back against the chair. All of that is really important if you have any concerns at all about not staying present and relaxed. There are other ways to accomplish that. Excuse me while I get a little adjusted. There's other ways to accomplish that. One of them is called a grounding technique, and I might simply do a follow-up video teaching you that. You will find, as I said in the previous video, stress is cumulative, so is relaxation. You are teaching yourself, it's like muscle memory, how to feel safely relaxed in the present. That reduces, lowers your nervous system out, reduces that chronic fight or flight reaction. You're going to be less reactive, less likely to respond as quickly to in a startle response or in other ways that a stress response or trauma symptoms come out. So I hope you found that helpful. If you do, please give the video a thumbs up. Do subscribe. I plan plenty more. I am very busy in my private practice, and then I do plan other elements of helping people in this way. I try to do videos and sneak them in when I can, like today. And I hope you'll join me for the next video. I look forward to welcoming you back to my YouTube channel. Thanks again.